Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is Usha Dubey. I'm from India and I really aspire to become a successful fashion designer. For any designer to be successful, he or she needs to have an inspiration point from where he or she starts building a collection. It's important to know where our interest lies. I personally have always been a person who is connected to the roots. My inspiration has always been India. India is a land of variety of things like food, spices, textiles and handicrafts. I've always been obsessed with Indian tradition, culture, religion and Indian textiles. India has many great fashion designers, from Bollywood fashion designer Manish Malhotra to Sabyasachi, who collaborated recently with Christian Louboutin, Manish Arora, who is an internationally renowned fashion designer, and Tarun Tahiliani, who uses draping as his main style for creating garments and is known for his beautifully draped saris and Indo-Western lehengas. Tarun Tahiliani is known for directly draping on the mannequin and stitching the pieces together to complete the designs. My inspiration is Tarun Tahiliani for this collection. I love the way he works. I personally love the style because I'm a person who doesn't like to work much with patterns or drafts. I'd rather drape my garment on the body form and stitch it accordingly. Being an Indian girl with a modern and western sense of style, his way of working really inspires me. The silhouettes he creates is perfect for any Indian girl who likes to keep it traditional but chic wherever she goes. He also uses exclusive fabrics and ornaments them with embroidery work using crystals, beads, gems, etc. With my collection, I started off by collecting pieces of different kinds of fabrics like cotton, jute, satins and silks, georgettes, viscose, crepe. I have tried to experiment a lot with fabrics, manipulating them in every way best possible, using synthetic dyes and natural dyes, with patterns like pleating, ruching, batik, bandhani, twisting and knotting. So we have pleating, this is marbling, this is leheria, which is a famous printing style in Gujarat, which is a part of India. We have bandhani right here. Knotting. Pegging, in which I used hair clips. Create a pattern. Ruching. I also used some samples. I used dual colors for some samples. Like this, orange and violet, pink and blue, yellow and green. I've always also used natural dyes to create some samples, like this is a spinach dye. Tea dye, turmeric dye. I've also used techniques like screen printing, block printing, stencil printing, and innovative methods like flower hammering printing. This is a flower hammering printing in which I place the fabric first, a plain fabric, and place some flowers, some colorful flowers on it. I hammer the flowers onto the fabric to transfer the colors from the flowers to the fabric. This is how a flower hammering printing is created. This is sample of stencil printing. Nail paint printing, which is done by dropping some drops of nail paint on water, creating a pattern using toothpick and placing the wrong side of the fabric on the pattern and pulling it off to create the pattern. This is shaving foam marbling, which is done using shaving foam and food color. This is block printing. And nail printing. I've also tried different embroidery styles with different stitches, like sequencing. Show you my embroidery book. This is my embroidery book. This is sequencing, stem stitch, French knot stitch. This is ribbon work, which is done on jute. Buttonhole stitch, which is done on silk. And chain stitch, which is done on silk again. I've also tried innovative embroideries using rope, CD, and paper doilies, and stems. This is a sample in which I've used rope, paper doilies, CDs. Stems, fabric flowers. This print I've used in this is a print in which I've used leaf printing. I've painted on the leaf with acrylic colors, and printed it on the fabric. Now, for my final collection, the swatches and the illustrations, I first created a mood board from which I really knew what I wanted to do, what colors I wanted to use, and in which direction I want my collection to go. Tarun Tahiliani and most of the Indian designers work mostly with wedding collections and festival collections. All the designers that I mentioned before are pure couturiers. I have always wanted and dreamt to become one such successful couturier. Exclusive fabrics, embroidery and silhouettes have always fantasized me, like every other girl out there. I personally feel I can become one such designer because of my way of working with hands. India is known for its hand-woven fabrics and hand-done embroidery. I would love to work with the same, incorporating them in my collections in my own unique style. Being a lover for fashion trends and new styles, I can assess my work from a customer's point of view, and that makes all the difference in the way I design. The major objective for any high-end label should be the way they treat their customers and the quality of products they cater to their clients. And for me, quality and handwork is all I work for, using the best quality fabrics and developing designs for every group of customers is my agenda. Indian women mostly spend on two major occasions, that is, weddings and festivals. I have aimed on the same and created a wedding based collection. Indian weddings are a process of 6 to 7 ceremonies, which include engagement, sangeet, mehendi, haldi, wedding ceremony, and reception. I have named my collection Unscathed Beauty, which means beauty in its original form. I have taken an oyster as a sub inspiration, and as it's beneath the ocean, it's untouched and completely pure yet beautiful. For my swatches, I used methods like burning, flower hammering printing, painting, embroidery, stencil printing, laser cutting, and digital repeats. And the materials like acrylics, paint, pearls, fabric for making flowers, ropes, and paper. I'd like to show you my mood board. This is my mood board. I'll show you my swatches. This can be a beautiful border for a sari. Acrylics, pearls, wire, jute leaves, paper, laser cut butterfly. In this I've used the flower hammering technique with dried rose petals and glitter. Jute leaves again. Flowers using fabric, pearls, and a laser cut dragonfly. In this I've used a raw silk border. This is the fabric, the raw silk fabric. And I've laid it over with jute. I've burnt the jute. And this is stencil printing. I've also digitally manipulated these swatches so that a digital print is created which can be directly printed onto the fabric or even embroidered. I've taken out small prints of these digital manipulations so that I can create small details in my illustrations using them. These are mini 4x4 size. These can be made easily using Instagram layouts. The rope borders look beautiful. Now I'd like to show you my illustrations. I've created garments like lehengas, mermaid lehengas for someone who wants to look trendy, gowns, saris and shararas as well. I developed my illustrations using my swatches and illustrated the small details of the embroidery done on the swatches. I majorly focused on the idea of creating beautiful looking yet modern garments which are not complicated and easy to carry for women who want to look glamorous and traditional both at the same time. I've kept in mind the Indian body shape and complexions and worked with the colors that worked well with them. Thanks for watching.